G'day everyone, Daz here, and in our latest podcast, Smithy and I go over the teams that we are buying, holding, and selling for the future week. Wolf of Wall Street stock market style. If you enjoy the video, click that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it, and any like that you can give us will help with the algorithm in order for us to keep building this community. We are Aussie fans of US sport who love having a chat with plenty of banter. We hope you enjoy the video, and if you want the full episode of our podcast, Teddies and Threes, you can find it wherever you get your podcasts. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and most of all, enjoy. So let's move on to the stock market, I reckon, mate. You are the Leonardo DiCaprio, the Wolf of Wall Street, NBA style. So we buy, hold, and sell a franchise. I look after the East, as that is where my Celtics are, and I watch more of our rivals, Smithy's Blazers, as he's representing again tonight. He looks after the West. So let's go through it, mate. Let's begin with the West. Who are you buying? Who's really perked your interest in the last 7 days?
I sold this team this time last week.
Oh boy, that is a flip.
I'm repping their jersey tonight.
You are.
My Portland Trailblazers, I am buying some of what we are doing at the moment. Let me take you through our 3 games this week. So last Thursday, the day after we recorded the trade deadline video, we played the Lakers with our new look team. No CJ McCollum. Our starting lineup was CJ Ellaby, Anthony Simons, Justice Winslow, Yusuf Nurkic, and Ben McLemore. And we beat the Lakers at home. The Lakers, who were fully healthy, apart from Russell Westbrook, which at the moment you'd say is probably a better thing.
Which a lot of Lakers fans are thinking, no, that sounds like full strength to me, actually, yeah.
Yeah, so we managed to get that win. And I watched that game and I was like, wow, how have we pulled this off?
Which is always a good way of knowing where your franchise is.
Exactly right. Anyway, the New York Knicks come into town, fresh off beating the Warriors in that game of the week that we mentioned earlier.
Would have been a struggle.
Daz, at one stage, we were down by 25 points.
Jeez, that's a big loss you must have had there, mate.
81-56 it was.
Yeah.
So
that's a big loss you've had.
We were getting pounded. We were getting smashed. It was looking ugly. 35-11 fourth quarter. We come back and win by 9.
Wow.
Come back and win by 9, Daz.
That's nuts, mate. That's a very good win. For a team that we were told before the trade deadline weren't making any moves, they made them, and then with a win like that, that's extraordinary.
It was Josh Hart's first game in a Blazer uniform, and he instantly won my heart, pardon the pun, with 23 points and some very good defense. Yusuf Nurkic had 20 rebounds, stood up after I baked him for his performance against Orlando.
How is your relationship with Yusuf, by the way?
It's a lot better now.
Yeah,
back on good terms. And part of that is because what he did yesterday against Milwaukee. We traveled to Milwaukee, one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. Really tough to play against them on the road. And we come out and we win by 15, Daz. Beat the Bucks by 15 on the road.
Oh, what is going on? You can't even tank properly.
We can't even tank properly. Yusuf Nurkic had 23 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 assists. Had a massive game. Anthony Simons just keeps going to another level. He's en route to a Most Improved Player award, in my opinion.
He is a god amongst men at the moment.
He really is. And Josh Hart, 27 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks.
I will buy some.
Just crazy numbers. We were so good, and they've completely turned it around from the team who was on a 6-game losing streak going into the Lakers game. And we're now won 3 in a row. So I will buy some Portland Trailblazers.
I love it, mate. Now, who are you holding? A team you're unconvinced about this week that either need a bounce back and you'll be looking at them to buy, or if they keep going off the cliff, you might be selling. Who is it?
I am very worried about the Golden State Warriors right now.
Oh, very worried. There's a quote.
I'm very worried about the Golden State Warriors right now. Draymond Green being out really hurts. There's no other way around it. It's just fact. But Steph Curry's been very underwhelming lately, and they are losing to bad teams. They lost to a good team to start the week. The Jazz beat them. The Jazz are a very good regular season team. We know this. But they lost by 26.
Jeez.
It's not like it was a close loss. They lost by 26.
There's
And
not many
then
yelps you're giving out in that situation.
we've got the game of the week where they lost to the Knicks at home. Curry had a good game that game. Klay Thompson played all right, but they just couldn't stop Julius Randle and the Knicks. So that's a massive concern for me. They only just beat the Lakers at home, thanks to Klay Thompson having 33 points. But then they come out and they lose to a really bad Clippers team at the moment. So I am very concerned. They lost to the Clippers by 15, and the Clippers' top scorer was Terrence Mann.
Oh, boy. Oh, man, you could say.
Yeah, so I am really worried. Curry put up points in that game, but didn't have any supporting cast. The next highest scorer was Andrew Wiggins, the all-star starter, with 13 on 5 of 10 shooting. So I'm concerned about the Warriors at the moment.
I like it. And just a little bit of love for just a little bit of love for the Clippers as well. Ty Lue's doing a fantastic job this year. So to be as relevant as they are without their two superstars, credit to them. I apologize for interrupting you, mate. I won't do it again. Who are you selling this week, mate? Who have you had an absolute gutful of?
The Houston Rockets are just not a good basketball team at the moment.
They're just not.
They only played 2 games on the week, so usually
this is harsh.
Games. Usually, if they play 2 games, you sort of give them a bit of leeway. But in those 2 games, they gave up 139 points to the Raptors and 135 points to the Jazz for an average plus one of -26.5 in those 2 games.
Jesus.
So yeah, they're really battling at the moment. They can't get a stop. It seems like there's not much going right for Houston at the moment. Christian Wood doesn't seem happy there. Jalen Green has been very disappointing this season, considering he was the number 2 pick. So, yeah, there's not a lot to be smiling about at the moment in Houston. But that leads us to the beasts from the East, Az. Where are you going with your buy?
Mate, it does. And a lot of things can concern me, but when it comes to the friendship that we've had for 9 years, I don't think there's anything that worries you more when Dazzling walks in with a base level confidence that is quite high, because usually that is the beginning of things going right to shit. I need my base level hatred of the world at a solid mid level so it can go either way and I can ride the bumps. But I can't do this anymore, just as Smithy nearly knocks his mic over. But I can't do this anymore, mate. My Celtics have won 9 in a row, and I need to start buying some stock. I'm doing it for the first time this year. I've held them. I've sold them. 9 wins in a row. At some point, I've got to put the glasses down and just admit we are a good basketball team. I'm not going to go further than that. We are a good basketball team at the moment. 9 in a row. We'll cop that. 2 games against Detroit, so that'll probably go 1-1. Just because I'm mucking around, but we've got Brooklyn as well, which will be a fantastic test. But what excites me about their Celtics teammate, and you'll know this, the mental fragility has been lowered. I called us in our Eastern predictions the most mentally fragile team in the league. I think that as well as my man Imi, or Jack, as I called him in the original podcast version, so to all the visual listeners, that's not going to make sense, but jump on board the inside jokes as quick as you can and we'll go with it. But I couldn't decide how to pronounce his name. I'd heard it so many different ways, so I gave up and called him Jack. You're up to speed now. He's establishing himself as a leader. I said 3 weeks ago, I'm not taking credit for this, but JT and JB need to figure out really quickly who's the 1 and then who's the 1A. I originally said who's the 1 and who's the 2, but I'm happy to upgrade that to 1 and 1A. And we've done that magnificently. Marcus Smart did sprain his ankle, but it's a shame. But there is one man that needs to be talked about, my friend. He's stolen my heart. He is the Anthony Simons of the Boston Celtics, heart stealing wise. Derek White is just doing things on the court. He just makes me smile every time he's got the ball in his hand. His stats on paper, look, are they magnificent? No. This man, since he walked out on the court for the first time, has played off the bench, has the highest plus-minus of any Celtic since he arrived. bang, I'm sold. That's all you need to do for me. We gave up 91 points this week. Fantastic defense. But does that mean we were involved in scraps? Absolutely not. We averaged 116 points for, including putting 135 on the Sixers, who can get nicked. Oh, I'm sick of the Sixers-Celtics rivalry's gone on for years, so I'm not adding anything that's not already there. But seriously, Sixers, you can go forth and get, I don't want to swear because YouTube will mute us or do something bad to us, but you can go forth and multiply, as we used to say. So I'm really happy with where we're at. I'm going to keep a bit of a lid on it because we'll lose to Detroit tomorrow and I'm going to look like a right dick. But I'm very happy with where we are, mate. I'm going to buy a little bit as we go towards banner number 18.
I was going to say, you're being very modest when today you said that you were championship bound. So I'd be worried if you're a Celtics fan out there because Daz is going to put the moz on you, that's for sure. But moving on to the next segment, the hold. Who are you holding? Who are you not sure about?
Well, there's a few reasons why you can be not sure about a franchise, but these guys made a trade, and I just need to see them at their best, and that's Philly. This isn't the part where I slag you again, I promise, but Joel Embiid has been MVP worthy. James Harden hasn't got out on the court yet. A 48-point loss is terrible, considering, you gave up Seth Curry as well in that deal, which I think is going wildly under the radar as a part of the Harden and Simmons trade. And Andre Drummond wasn't there as well. So when Joel needed a break, they just looked hopeless without him. So I do worry about the durability of Embiid going forward. But I feel like when Harden gets out on the court, we can trust Philly in the best way, and I think with the most dignity. So as much as I like to slag you as a Boston fan, as an NBA fan, I don't think I can do that. So I'm going to hold them.
Yeah, I did mention to you today that Philly were looking very, very short-handed without Embiid on the court. So I do agree with you there. Now, which franchise can royally go and who are you sick of? Who do you just need to give a clip around the ears to this week?
This is the team that I've sold the most this year. So I'm actually convinced I've run out of stock at this point. So I'm not selling them again. But the New York Knicks can nick off.
Oh, boy.
I'm sick of it. You beat the Warriors in a thriller and you lost to two teams that are tanking in the Blazers and the Thunder. You put your whole team up for trade. No one wanted them, which should tell you more than you need to know anyway. And at the end of the day, even your fans don't want to go to your games because of the emotional heartbreak you're going through. We've said it before, mate. I don't know how many different times I can say it. Madison Square Garden is the best arena in this sport. Hands down, sorry. Anyone that disagrees, congrats, you're wrong. And it is being filled with an absolute just mind grenade of what the hell is going on. And the problem is I don't think there is an easy fix. So we said with the Celtics, they needed to gel, get themselves together. You said it with the Warriors that maybe they're just on the downside and we can wait and see. I don't know how long we can wait and see with the Knicks for, because this hasn't changed. Evan Fournier only rocks up when they play the Celtics, and then they scored 22 on the Warriors, and that was an outlier. Kemba's not in the rotation anymore that much. Alec Burks is Alec Burks, and the rest of the squad are just made up of guys that could go out there and win them a game any night, or go out there and be invisible. Inconsistency in sport is a killer, mate, and to be honest, I'm sick of caring at the moment, so I'm going to sell them.
Coaching's the big thing for me. With the Knicks, watching them firsthand, you can't blow a 25-point lead to a rebuilding team without the coaching being atrocious, and that's what it was. So I think Tom Thibodeau's time in New York is numbered, that's for sure. I can't see him lasting until tip-off next year.
Geez, I'll tell you what, you got through that sentence magnificently, mate. A huge credit to you.